Om Namo Narayan, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shivoham, Om. Welcome to another Satsang with your host, Chuck the Yogi from the Yogi Cave. Electricity finally came back after almost a week of being out to the Yogi Cave, so I can use my noise suppressor again and my artificial lights. And so it just taught me that I don't need electricity. I just need it to stay connected. Anyway, let's continue with the Kaula Jnana Nirnaya. Where was we? Chapter 18. Devi said, "My lord, please tell me the process of worshipping the Siddhas, which has significance to the knowledge of the self which is enshrined in the body. Please tell me the knowledge about performing the rituals of the Kuladvipa. And please also tell me what is the procedure for performing the initiation for the one that desires the siddhis according to the Kaula tradition." Bhairava said, "Well said, O beautiful goddess. I will tell you the methods for performing the ritual of the Kula light. A cake should be made of barley, powder, rice, or wheat. It should be sweetened with milk and other products." Interesting parallels, right? The offering of cakes to the goddess in places like Europe. Should be mixed with clarified butter, which is ghee. Should be decorated with 12 wicks and should be offered to the Siddha yoginis and the guru of the mantra with the mantra Ring. This worship should be performed once, twice, or thrice a day in front of the yoginis and the guru. The offering should be accepted by them. Think about that in the cake with the candles that we still in the West do. Sadhaka should repeat Ring, which is the best mantra. This mantra is dear to the yoginis, root mantra. The sound gives an immediate connection with the yoginis and therefore is always a giver of enjoyment and liberation. I will now tell you another way of consecrating related to the energy, the kula. One should fill a pot with an equal quantity of... Now, again, these are practices that they engaged in. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do this. I'm just giving the information. One should fill a pot with an equal quantity of blood and semen from an adulterous man or woman, a kunda, and a widow's bastard, a gola. Then one should mix it with honey and clarified butter. The blood is called the ejective divine nectar. Semen mixed with wine becomes the absolute Brahman. Decoction should also be mixed with the buka flower and the black wine. When wine is prepared with devotion, it is a conscious bliss of the great soul, Mahatma. So what's the point of this? Well, you know the alchemical colors, right? They're black, red, and white. They represent the three states of being. And in alchemy, they're called cinnabar, mercury. Those are two key ingredients, the white and the red. And the black is the color which contains all things. It's the black earth out of which the gold emerges with the combination of the two, the red and the white. So this is simply a physiological representation of that. And these substances are very powerful substances, particularly the blood of... I'm not going to get into all that. We'll do that. I would do that in a different context, but it just shows that the notion and idea of the Kaula is that the body contains everything that's necessary in order to obtain enlightenment. So this is what the focus is, basically. Because out of the red and the white comes children, but what we're doing here is creating divine children, creating the adamantine body. This is what we're talking about. This is the practice. One should pronounce the guru, see then deities, and should pronounce the mantra Hrim Klim Maum Jum Saha. To perform the worship in proper order using a kanch or pitcher and with unfailing devotion, one should perform the worship to the teacher, Acharya, who is a strong-willed guide. One should offer to the teacher the plants and herbs such as cannabis and the flower of a species of jasmine, mohana, with folded hands. One should recite the mantra conceiving it encircled in succession by 5 jewels, 5 senses, combined with blood and salt, milk, curd, ghee, wine, water, and sugarcane juice. which are tasteful and are the cause of procreation. These 8 elements are in the energy mountain. So the whole idea is to procreate, but not to procreate human beings or animals, but to procreate the divine, right? And to give it birth. The decoction should be taken by a courtesan or by a maid or a preceptor. It should be taken with their own hands and sprinkled on the head of the sadhaka, after which he becomes a yogi. So again, it's a form of initiation, of rebirth. Once again, I will tell you the procedure of worshiping. Please listen to it with rapt attention. One should give blood, duly mixed with abstract meditation and with various auspicious objects. The sadhaka should offer an unhusked rice of the shali variety, or of any kind of good variety of rice. Should offer that which, with the other 64 ingredients, along with the divine perfumes and flowers. He should offer this with all sorts of ornaments that will propitiate the tranquility of the mind. By doing so, one becomes dear to the yoginis, siddhas, heroes, and the matrikas. One should offer wine, a variety of food with ghee and sugar. One should offer 1,000 or 100 or 60 or 64 or 8 containers, whatever is available, kumbhas. One should offer all this to the preceptor guru, and with due respect, then should perform the worship of the heroes. The guru and the Vedas will be pleased again and again. Then the wise should take the oblation and should not perform all these prematurely. This knowledge should be transmitted from mouth to mouth only. By doing this, one becomes eligible to attain the siddhis. The oblation should be made in a pot or in a conch. One should perform the ritual puja in a proper order as indicated by the verses, shastras. One should use all the ritual accessories and with due preparation. By doing this, one becomes eligible to obtain the siddhis. Chapter 19. Devi said, "O Deva, please now tell me about the places of the lotuses and the body of the siddhas." Bhairava said, "All the lotuses and the chakras and the Devi are divine forms and have great effulgence or radiance. They are of 16 forms, and one who desires liberation should always meditate being in them. He should also meditate on the auspicious. Shiva should meditate on the Devis dressed in white garments. One should also meditate on the yoginis who are like young women of dark complexion. One should visualize them as like the one that showed up to my mother before I was born. One should visualize them as donning red garments anointed with perfumes and creams as well as red garlands. O Devi, one should meditate that oneself is in the same form of the Siddha yoginis. Then one achieves whatever is the object of desire. By meditating along with Shrinatha and his yoginis, holding a conch shell and surrounded by the group." So there's parallels between this and Dionysus and his Maenads or other medieval depictions of the same, right? Chapter 20. Bhairava said, "O Devi, listen to the marvel in this world which bestows liberation. O dearest one, the initiated Natha should press upwards, the life energy, prana, from the arms to the heart, throat, etc. One should draw upwards what has fallen by practicing pranayama. Piercing the forehead in this way, a person reaches the stainless state." So the whole idea is to break an aperture, ultimately, through the crown of the skull, so that when it's time to leave, the yogi can just leave. That's what allows yogis even to this day to leave effortlessly. O beautiful faced one, when the self-same jiva becomes Shiva, he becomes both the creator and the destroyer. A double-edged sword, like someone called me in the Caribbean. He knows himself as the supreme and knows also the movable and immovable ones. He does not suffer any misery, but always enjoys happiness. Now one should constantly practice this pure consciousness as an object of direct perception. Instead of, it has to be directly perceived. That's the whole purpose of enlightenment. One who is constantly engaged in the practices on the path of the Shakti will gain control over eating and sexual impulse. By this way, he will become nameless. He will draw the life breath upwards from the navel to the heart. One should bring the mind to the black thread and identify oneself with the life breath in the path of Shakti. One should also worship the goddess energy in images and in flowers. That's what the murtis are for. It's props. By practicing in this way for 6 months, one attains the equilibrium of breath, samarasa of the breath. One achieves the power of traveling far and wide for many years and is able to enter the bodies of others. This will come as a result to you. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. We're coming close to the end of the Kaula Jnana Nirnaya, so no rush. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om, Shiva Hum, Jai Ma, Jai Mahaprabhu. Till next time.